I do want to start with just one thing before we get to something that I think is under discussed in regards to LeBron James' dominance, especially late in games for USA Basketball. It's this sound going around from Paul George on his podcast talking about his time with the Clippers. And Paul said, hey, from the get-go, he was playing on the B team. Take a listen.
Coming back to L.A., that was home when I first came back to L.A., but it's not the same love. Because when I was in L.A., they like, man, you should have been a Laker. That's all I was hearing. It wasn't no like, oh, welcome to the Clippers. Yo, we happy you in L.A., but you should have been a Laker.
You was on the second team.
I'm on the B team. That's how the vibe and the love felt.
Yeah, I mean, they're the Clippers. Dan Byers lived out here for over 20 years, right? Jay Stu grew up, lived, born, raised, everything in Southern California. Obviously, I was raised in California. Then I've come back and up until now living in Green Bay, 9 of the last 12 years of my life. And previous to that, from the time I was 6.5 until the time I was 19, I lived in Southern California. And you can't say you're from L.A. if there's just a couple of dead giveaways, right? A couple of dead giveaways. First is if you call a freeway by the freeway's name, you're not from L.A. If you call a freeway by the freeway's name, you're not from L.A. Now, the opposite is true in New York. In New York, everything's known by the name. Oh, that's the Hudson River Parkway. Oh, that's the Sawmill. There are numbers that coincide with these things, but nobody in New York knows the numbers. In L.A., no one goes by the numbers. No one goes by the names. Everyone goes by the numbers. So the first dead giveaway in that you're not really from Southern California is if you call a freeway by the freeway's name. Oh, I was on the San Diego freeway. I don't even know what freeway is the San Diego freeway. I mean, I'm guessing it's the 5, but no one calls the 5 the San Diego freeway. They call it the 5. Call it the 5. I think the second thing is you understand the differences in areas, right? In areas like Ventura County, not L.A., Inland Empire, not L.A., Orange County, not L.A. They all have their own kind of areas and things. And the last one is if you don't know the Clippers or the B team, don't say you're from L.A. And by the way, he's from Lancaster, which is outside of Bakersfield. It's not L.A. And the surprise that he felt like he reacted to tells you all you need to know. Like, really? Did you think this was a Clipper town? I mean, even with the new arena, which they displayed to everybody this weekend, and if you watch social media like, this is amazing, everyone I know walked away with the same thought. That's incredible. Only one problem. The Clippers play there. All right, let's get to the NBA playoffs, or semi-NBA playoffs. The Team USA playing in the friendlies, getting ready for Olympic basketball. Yesterday, they survived Germany. Got to be a 1-point game late. Germany took some bad shots, missed a couple of them. LeBron James, a couple of gigantic shots, did miss 2 free throws, and Team USA ends up getting the win. They continue to wait on Kevin Durant to be healthy, coming off of the strained calf muscle. That's, by the way, what we're told it is, the strained calf muscle, even though there's no wrap and he has gone through practices. Here's Paul Pierce on Undisputed this morning talking about LeBron's play with USA Basketball.
You know, when you look at the regular season and you like, oh, Ant-Man is next in line or Jason Tatum is this, but when you see the collection come all together and you watch LeBron, man, he might be clearly the best player still in the NBA. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just looks that way watching this.
Time out.
Seriously.
You just punctured the wound right there with Skip.
I know. Okay. But look at the collection.
So you just
why isn't nobody else doing this?
Okay.
Why isn't Curry stepping up? I want to see Ant-Man or Tatum do this.
Curry did step up a couple games ago.
No, but this is supposed to be one of the young boys coming and doing this for them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so there's a couple things. Paul's not wrong in terms of end of game. Now, part of the reason LeBron hit a wide-open 3 at the end of the game was Germany was daring him to shoot. Because the Germans, they don't think, most foreign teams don't think LeBron is nearly as good a shooter as sometimes reputation would have you believe in the NBA. When he missed 2 free throws there late, like the foreign teams are still in the belief of, like the San Antonio Spurs, if you're going to make him beat you with a jump shot. Other part was the big drive and finish he had was with his left hand. And as anybody who's watched LeBron knows, he likes to drive to his right, and to his left, he likes to shoot that kind of weird sort of side step back, pull up three. He doesn't usually get to the basket. All of that being said, what I think most people don't account for, is the fact that this is a very different game. And look, you have to be big. You have to be able to make shots over the top. The game is very physical, and there's a reason that European teams are able to hang with the far more athletic American players in FIBA basketball. It's the way it's always been. And so while you say shooting's valued from Steph Curry, the problem with Steph is once he gets it and he puts it on the floor, you can hand check. And so Steph can be marginalized a little bit. And then defensively, they'll post him up. It's really hard. Tatum dribbles too much. Ant-Man's too much mid-range and get to the hoop. It's just they don't have the same lanes to the basket. And while LeBron is clearly not one of the best player on his own team, let alone one of the top 10 players in the NBA because he doesn't play both sides of the ball, in FIBA basketball, where you can take breaks, you can play zone, you can be super physical in both offense and defense if you know how to do it, and then late in the game, older players just win. And he doesn't have to play big minutes because they have so many guys. So if you want to say he's the best player at playing FIBA-style basketball, right now the answer is yes. He also has a supreme amount of confidence. They believe in him. And those other guys don't really know how to react, how to play, and it gives LeBron the chance to take over. Now, I think most of that will change when Kevin Durant comes back and then KD becomes the go-to scorer late. Because LeBron still holds the ball too long, and KD, remember, bailed us out in last Olympics. He was the guy. But Paul Pierce is making the, I think, ill-fated assumption that what you see in FIBA-style basketball equates to what we would see in the NBA, and that's just not true. He is right? This should be a time in which one of these young guys steps up, makes plays like, whoa, Jason Tatum is the next great one. Anthony Edwards is the next great one. But only LeBron has the confidence and the strength to make these plays. But that doesn't mean that in an NBA-style game, he's anywhere close to those players.